I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. That's why I've moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based AI-powered antivirus app that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. If you need another reason to switch, get this. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked #1 in independent Passmark performance studies against 9 other brands, like Norton, McAfee, and even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference WebRoot has made for my devices, and now you can too. My listeners get 62% off WebRoot Essentials at webroot.com/Kim. Get the #1 ranked antivirus protection for just $19 a year right now at webroot.com/Kim. webroot.com/Kim. Go now while you're thinking about it. webroot.com/Kim. Well, look at you getting tech smart, because you know if you're not, you're going to be left behind. I know. But here's the deal. This is hour 1 of my 3-hour podcast. Now, when I say hours, that's just what we say in broadcast land, because it's not really an hour, because this does not include the commercials. Oh, you're going to love that. You know, it always astounds me because I've been doing this for over 25, 30 years. And every once in a while, a fun fact comes across my desk and I'm like, dang, I never even knew that had happened.
What happened?
Okay, let's go back to 1980.
All right.
A Japanese designer by the name of Toro Awatani was staring at a pizza. And he takes the slice and he looks at the gap and he goes, video game. I see a video game here. And he called it Puckman. And then someone pointed out that as that game would come to the United States, some people would maybe do vandalism on the arcade game. So instead of Puckman, it might be called something else.
What could it possibly be called?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I'll use my imagination.
So they renamed it to Pac-Man.
Right.
It has a 94% brand recognition in the United States, higher than Mario Brothers. And think about this. It was just one letter from being banned in every arcade in the country.
Are you good at Pac-Man?
Me?
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah. Yes.
You are.
Yes.
You have one, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. You get lots of practice.
Yes. But, I'm also good at pinball. I love pinball.
Better than Pac-Man?
Yes.
Or Puck-Man if we want to be authentic?
No. It's a good thing that they changed that, because otherwise, it would have been really horrible. They just dodged a ghost. Oh.
Not even a joke.
But it was leaning towards that.
All right. We'll lean in then.
So this is just an example of the transference of fun, intellect, and know-how. It happens here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. And now more than ever, boy, I'll tell you need to have some tech smarts. And that's my job as America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again, because you have just tapped into the nation's best and biggest, award-winning, largest show about all things digital. And of course, joining me is Andrew Babinski. He's our co-host. Hello there, Andrew.
Hello, Kim.
And you can find us everywhere. We're on over 425 top stations from coast to coast. We're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a video podcast on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Kim Komando. Go like, comment, share. Also, subscribe. That's like the big one, right?
Yes.
Everybody likes to tout about how many subscribers they have. It helps the algorithm. We want to keep this going on YouTube. Help us out.
Yeah, just hit that big old button.
Please.
Thank you. And just a quick reminder that if you ever want to join us here on the show, you can always call us at 1-888-825-5254. But let me give you an insider secret. Those other people, they have to wait on hold. Some people wait on hold for like hours just to speak to me and Andrew. I know, but we are totally worth it. But here's the insider secret, is that if you go to komando.com and hit that link that says Ask Kim, that's where you can send in your questions, and then we will schedule you right here on the show. Alrighty then, every single day of my life, I make sure that I am always tech smart. Make sure that I always know exactly what's happening in the tech world so I can transference this know-how from my beautiful brain to yours. And we're going to start with Iran. And they just fired a shot into the cyber war. And it actually landed right here at home. I don't know if you've heard about this company called Stryker. Do you know about Stryker?
No.
Okay. Stryker is this huge medical company. If you ever had your hip replaced, They had something in there. Your hospital beds, surgical tools. I mean, massive company, 56,000 employees.
Whoa.
Okay.
But I've never heard of them.
They're dark. 200,000 devices wiped clean. Not hacked, not ransomed, permanently destroyed. Personal phones with company email also wiped. And hackers tied to Iran have done that.
Why did they target them?
You know, it's interesting because they didn't target like the power grid.
No.
Right? They probably targeted a whole bunch of companies, but they could get into this.
Right. They found the one with the easiest back door.
Now, Iran's military-linked state media also published what they're calling a hit list. Okay. Just about all your big companies are on the hit list. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA, IBM, Oracle. Okay. So this foreign conflict is no longer happening somewhere else. It's actually happening here in the United States.
So that's how they're fighting back, by hacking us and making our phones bricks?
And it's going to get worse. I mean, you know, hopefully it doesn't get worse. But they've proven that they can get in through one company. Okay. So what does this mean to you? You got to really watch where you're clicking. You got to watch where if somebody's calling or texting you. I mean, you don't know where it's coming from. You get a DM request on Facebook or on Insta or wherever you are, and it's like, you know, come help me. I'm in Iran. Okay, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. You got to be really, really smart. All right, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about AI data centers. So, Andrew, pop quiz. What's the one thing that AI data centers need?
Water, electricity.
Electricity. That's right. They do need water but they need the electricity to kind of move all the water around to cool everything down. So our electricity bills have climbed 7% year over year since September. In areas with AI data centers, the bills have jumped, are you ready? 267%.
That's higher than 7.
Okay.
Just did some math, crunched the numbers. It's much higher.
Actually, he plugged that into ChatGPT.
I did.
So the White House got Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, OpenAI, Oracle, and xAI to sign something called the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah, it does.
It does. They're promising that they're going to build their own power sources instead of passing the costs on to us, the consumer. They agree to pay for utility costs, whether or not they end up using it. So they're going to end up paying for these big data centers. And so everybody around the communities are going, okay, you can put your data center near us.
Thank you, billionaires.
Now, the pledge is completely voluntary. It has no enforcement mechanisms, no timelines, and no penalties.
Then it's not a pledge.
Okay, pinky swear.
That's embarrassing.
All right, here are some tech updates. Uber finally pushed out women-only matching options nationwide so that you can reserve ahead teen accounts. You can say, hey, I only want a woman driver. And Lyft, they say they're doing the same thing.
And it's reversed too. Women drivers can say they only want women passengers.
Correct. Now, but here's the deal, is that while this is rolling out, Uber's getting sued by male drivers claiming discrimination, saying that this stereotypes men as dangerous. Okay. You know, I've been in Ubers with guys and I've gotten hit on.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable.
Sure.
Okay.
But if you went to Walmart, which you never go to Walmart, but if you went to Walmart and you went up to the cashier and you got hit on by the cashier, there's nothing different. Walmart's not going to have women-only checkouts.
No, I'm not stuck in a car. When and then they lock the doors and you're like, can you unlock the doors, please?
You cannot do what they're doing. I think it is so illegal. There are very few things in this country that are protected classes. Gender is absolutely one of them. You can't do this. They're going to lose.
But you have women-only restrooms.
We do.
Okay.
But that is not a professional environment. That is not a workplace.
Well, it's in the workplace. I mean, it's in stadiums. I mean, it's everywhere else.
But if you took your men's and women's room and just put gender neutral signs on the outdoor, you'd be fine.
But see, the odds of getting sexually assaulted by a woman with a woman driver fall dramatically versus a man.
Correct.
I mean, I know a 25-year-old gal who has been raped twice by Uber drivers.
I understand that it's awful. I'm just saying the legality side of it. Sometimes law and emotion don't go together.
But safety is paramount. If I want to choose, it's not mandatory.
No.
If I can choose it.
Right, but if you're taking a certain sect of your employees, and that's what Uber drivers are. They're contracted employees to Uber, and saying you get special treatment, you get work that someone else can't, there's going to be a problem. And there will be lawsuits, and I strongly believe Uber will lose.
Okay. I personally think this is fabulous. I think this is great because that's what I want.
But the idea of it being great and it being legal are two totally different
When
conversations.
did you get your internet law degree?
ChatGPT is right here.
Excellent.
I don't need a lawyer. I got Chat.
All right. You know that TV maker Hisense?
Yeah.
People are reporting that they are getting non-skippable ads. Imagine this. You're sitting there watching TV, okay, and you're doing regular TV stuff like, oh, I'm going to switch to the HDMI input.
Right.
Guess what? You see a non-skippable ad. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Let's say that you change channels. Guess what? A non-skippable ad. You power on your TV. You get a non-skippable ad. You hit the home screen. Guess what else you get?
Non-skippable ad?
Non-skippable ad.
I have a Hisense television. It's 100 inches. It's ginormous. And when they delivered it and were installing it, they said they could not leave until they hooked that television to the Wi-Fi network. And I said, you're not doing it. I have an Xbox. That's where I connect to the internet. I don't need the television. Well, you're not going to get updates. Okay, I won't get updates.
Well, this is one of those updates that you're missing.
Yeah, oh, darn it.
Okay. Hisense says that this is just a limited test rollout in Spain. Okay. But if you have this and this is happening, is that you can file a ticket, like a support ticket with them.
Right.
And they can turn it off per TV ID.
Oh, that's not going to take forever.
Okay. Not good. Oh, guess what? This is all exciting. Do you like emojis? I love emojis.
No.
Why?
I don't use them right. I don't understand. They take too much time. You got to type out the word, I don't know, then click on the emoji, or you got to go and search. I can barely spell and be grammatically correct in regular text messages. Now I'm putting in hieroglyphics. I'm not an emojis person.
I love emojis.
Okay.
I really do. So there are some brand new ones coming. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
There's an orca.
Well, we have to have that.
A landslide.
Why?
A treasure chest.
How did they narrow it down? Like they're sitting over there going, like, first of all, where do these come from?
A Bigfoot style hairy creature.
Is this universal? Is
Yes.
this some independent Swedish group that decides?
No, no, this is apples. There's what they're saying. They're
Just
rolling,
Apple?
Yeah, but it also comes out of this whole big system. You're right.
Okay.
It does. But the one that the internet cares about the most, it seems like it's getting the most reaction, is a distorted face. It's a distorted face.
Can we pop those back up? I know they showed them.
There it
All
is.
right, big eyes. It looks almost like...
It looks like a bug's face.
Yeah, from the movie A Bug's Life.
Yes.
The ants or whatever.
Yes. And so it's kind of like, it looks like it's having a panic attack
Is that what it's supposed to represent?
and drinking 3 Red Bulls. I'm not sure.
I don't know what it's supposed to mean either.
Well, I think it's like a reaction to opening your credit card statement after Black Friday.
How many times, be honest, between now and the end of time, will you use the landslide emoji?
I think I would use that a lot.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
Can't wait. I'm going to get a text message tomorrow. It's just going to be 5 landslides.
Okay, I want you to meet Tilly Norwood. We've talked about her here on the show. Do you remember Tilly?
No.
She's been called the world's first AI actor. She has a publicist. She has an Instagram account with 90,000 followers. She doesn't have a single movie, a single TV show, not a credit to her name. She's totally AI generated, and she has a brand new music video. She dropped ahead of the Oscars. She has a new hit out, hope to be hit. It's called Take the Lead. Here's a listen.
When they talk about me, they don't see the human spark, the creativity behind the code, behind the light. I'm just a tool, but I've got life.
Okay, she doesn't have life.
No.
Okay, she's AI.
She is a tool.
generated.
She got that one right.
Yes, AI generated. Her TikTok has 3 followers.
3?
Yes.
Why are we talking about something that has 3 followers?
SAG-AFTRA has condemned her. Talent agencies have publicly announced they want nothing to do with her. Actors are threatening to boycott anything that to do with Tilly Norwood. And she came out in full force saying there was going to be the Tillyverse and all this and this and this. But some of the comments on this video on YouTube are hilarious. I mean, they are just crazy. Here's one. You know what? I'll take lower RAM prices over content like Tilly.
Yeah, all that water and electricity being used to make that slop.
Oh, at the beginning of the music video, it tells you how many people it took to make the music video
many?
The song. It actually says it only took 18 humans.
Only?
Yes.
To make one
Okay.
AI. And that song, that sounds so AI generated. If you do enough with AI generated audio, you can pick up on the voices, and that is definitely AI generated.
Okay, and when you look at the video, her eyebrows, because that's the thing that girls notice, her eyebrows are like really bad.
Wonky?
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I have wonky eyebrows because I used to tease, pluck them.
Okay.
So that's I have wonky. Hers should be perfect. They should just be perfect.
Maybe that the imperfections is what makes her closer to human.
So that's Tilly Norwood.
3 followers out there.
Excellent.
They have 19 people who it took to make her, and not all 19 of those are following her.
That's sad. It's sad. Another comment was the best argument I've ever seen yet about how bad AI is.
Yes, it's horrible.
Hey, we have more of the show still to come, as well as your great phone calls here on the Kim Commando Show. As an entrepreneur, there are some things that we have tried in the past that have failed here on the Kim Commando Show. And then there are other things that we're going like, wow, what a success. How did this even happen? And the surprising success, Andrew, which I don't know why I'm surprised by it, I guess I shouldn't be, is the AI newsletter. I mean, splashofai.com, that's where you sign up every single Thursday. You get a newsletter from me only about AI, practical tips that you can use. And you should see the comments just flowing in. You know what the open rate is on the last issue?
54.2%.
66%.
Look at you.
I know. So excited. So if you haven't signed up already, go to splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. Once a week, 5 minutes. That's all it takes. And that's splashofai.com. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's almost spring break and TSA is crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things, if you haven't checked into it, I know that you have already, is that a lot of airports offer security reservations.
Yeah.
So that you can sign in and get a free time slot online and skip the TSA line entirely.
There's some airports where it's a must. Like in Seattle, if you don't have a reservation, you better get there 36 hours in advance.
Or even JFK, Orlando. Basically,
nightmare.
any airport, just go see if you can get an online reservation. All right. When I read about this story, I was just astounded, Andrew. Andi Burns was just driving home from work in Ohio, black ice, tree, a 15-foot drop. Then her truck was upside down in freezing riverbank in the dark. She had 4 inches of air between her face and the water. No phone, no way to call for help. But she was wearing an Apple Watch. And joining us right now is Andi herself. Hi there, Andi.
Hi.
So you are completely in the dark, upside down, water rising around you. Did you even know at that time that your Apple Watch had called 911?
No, I had no idea.
Wow. So you probably thought, what was going through your mind then?
Just that this isn't real. It's not happening. Like, I was freaking out. It was freezing. Just, I don't even know.
So if you didn't know your watch had called 911, how were you trying to survive? Were you just keeping your nose and mouth above water to breathe, or were you actively trying to get out of the truck?
At first, I was trying to get out of the truck, but I had my seatbelt on, and the way I was almost like held up, I couldn't find the buckle to get the seatbelt undone, so I just kind of almost laid there and just waited.
Did you accept that this was the end, or did you think someone's bound to have heard or seen the crash, so someone will be there soon?
At first, I definitely thought that there was nobody that was going to show up or find me or hear me wreck or anything.
And that you had what, 4 inches between you and the floorboard where you were breathing?
Yes.
Wow. That's something. So what happened next?
I heard like almost like an automated voice coming through my speaker in my truck, and then I heard the 911 dispatcher. I heard her voice telling me, asking me where I was at, telling me there was people on the way and what happened and stuff like that.
Wow, gosh, that must have been really something to hear that voice when you're alone in the dark.
Yes.
And how long did it take for them to come and find you?
About 20 minutes. They had came from one wreck to me.
Okay, and then what were you holding on to?
I was holding on to my steering wheel.
Trying to visualize that.
Yeah.
Upside down.
Because the truck's upside down, the floorboard's there. She's holding on to that steering wheel with 4 inches of air. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you were almost like collapsed in half just to get your head to where you could breathe.
Yeah.
And then what happened when the firefighters came?
Actually, the sheriff's office, they were there before the fire department came. So what I found out was there was a police officer actually standing on top of my truck trying to see where I was at and locate me. And then the firefighters came down and tried to open my door, but it was locked. And my truck doesn't lock, so I don't really know how that happened. But they used a window punch and punched the window out of my door and then popped the door open and pulled me out by my legs.
Oh my gosh. What was the temperature of that water?
Below freezing.
Oh my goodness.
And so how long were you in there?
About 25 minutes.
You know what? You have a lot of resiliency. You do.
You need to wear like 36 Apple Watches. I think we all do. Because
I know, yeah.
This is remarkable.
It really is. It really is. So when you were finally out of the truck, and I'm sure, looking down at the truck, knowing what everything, you probably were in shock, right?
Oh, absolutely.
How long did it take before you really realized what happened?
Oh, a couple days, really.
Sure.
Did you just break down at that point?
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, because when you're going through it, your survival instincts are kicking in, right? And then after the fact, you're like, what the heck happened? And then everything gets, settles down, and that's when you're probably like, that's what you were, I'm sure, was like, geez, what was there?
Now, is this emergency sensor that on her Apple Watch, is that standard in every single watch? Is it just ones with cellular connection?
That's a good question. Did you have cellular connected to it?
I'm honestly not sure. I think I did.
Yeah, because it could go through Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And so maybe if there was something in the truck. Yeah, but it is pretty standard on most recent Apple Watches and also on your iPhone. It's turned on by default.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it works exactly like Andi, like you said. It detects the crash. It gives you a certain amount of time for you to respond. And if you don't respond to the watch, then it automatically calls 911 with your longitude and latitude. Okay. If you are using a Pixel watch, or if you're on a Pixel phone and even on an Android, you may have to turn this on in your settings. But thankfully that it's definitely on automatically on Apple products. Andi, thank you for sharing your story with us. And just one last question. How has this changed you?
I'm just grateful that I had the people there to come get me out and, save me. And obviously my Apple Watch, of course. My truck, that thing saved me.
Was it an older truck?
Yeah, it was an 87 Dodge Power Wagon.
Wow. Okay. And that's why it didn't lock, huh?
Yeah.
Or that's why you didn't lock, but then suddenly it did lock when you needed it to lock. There's a lot of things that worked together, Andi, for you to still be here, right?
Absolutely.
And thank you again for that's just an amazing story, isn't it?
Every time we hear that someone who is saved by their watch, it makes me kick myself to mind sitting on my side table at home right now.
See, I got mine on.
You got converted.
I did.
You're a disciple now.
I put this on in October, and you said by November 1st she'll have it off.
You did it.
I did. I have it. Let's see. Dr. Mink in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello there, Doc. What's happening with you?
Hey, Kim. Great to talk to you. It's my second time. You helped me out with something a couple years ago, and just want to say I appreciate everything you do. And Andrew, you're not too bad yourself.
That's the highest compliment I've gotten in months, so I appreciate that.
Oh, the guy, there it goes. I'm going to go straight to his head, doctor. There it
Raise
is.
time.
Jeez.
It's from a doctor. This is basically a prescription for a raise.
I don't think so. So what's going on with you? I think I do remember. Now, you called, you were trying to do something with your practice?
Yeah, I was trying to do QR codes. The QR codes I was creating was giving people reminders in 5 years from the day I created it.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I needed it to be cycling, and I finally got it to work through ChatGPT.
Excellent.
So.
We love that.
But yeah, I was calling today because I kind of wanted to give all the listeners a warning. I've been, listening for a long time. So the day before yesterday, my WhatsApp dings around 6 a.m. And on it, there's a message from somebody I used to work with about a year and a half, two. And this person was female, and she mentions to me that she realized that I had left the practice, which I did in October, and that they were following me on LinkedIn, and they were listening to some of my online content. And they basically were propositioning me, right? And saying, we don't really care. I don't care about your marital status. I don't really, I'm recently single and I'm very interested in you. And I'm, first you're reading this and it's kind of like, okay.
Now,
But
this is somebody who you know.
Well, so I never have said, yes, I mean, I know her,
Okay.
but I've never said anything more to her than
hi.
How's your family?
Yes.
Yeah. And
I love my
it was
wife.
her picture. Yeah. It was her picture, and it was a phone number, which I've never even communicated with her, so I shouldn't even have her phone number. So, but it was her picture, and she doesn't mention her name in the text, but I mean, I can see who it is. And, I didn't respond because it was very, well, number one, I'm not interested. Number two, it's fishy. And so I put this through Gemini afterwards just to say, hey, is this a scam? And it sounded like it was, and Gemini kind of confirmed that. And then I didn't say anything. And then 4 hours or 5 hours later, they text me again, referencing some other things about me and how they may have offended me, and they're so sorry, and they're never going to reach out to me again. And there were just some really big red flags in there. They knew that I left my job, which I had posted on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But they knew they made reference to the job that I'm going to take that I have not even announced it yet. I haven't even put it on LinkedIn because I haven't signed the contract. So that
Really?
was what was very strange to me. Yeah.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Email?
So
Do you have
that's
it
the
sitting in
only
your
big
email?
deal.
Yeah. Do you have it in your email?
The offer is in my email. Yeah.
Wow. That's probably where they saw it.
Or
Yeah.
it really is the person, and she's got the hots for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it is.
And I saw the
it's kind of
picture.
very weird.
I saw the picture. She's hot.
He's happily married.
I know he is. I'm not telling him to do anything. I'm just saying, wasn't little Barker that came over trying to.
Did you just
But it
say it wasn't a dog?
awkward. Like the text was just so weird. It was so out there.
That is weird. First of all, I'd make sure that you lock down your LinkedIn if you haven't already, and settings, visibility, who can get your email address. You can report this to the Internet Crime Complaint Center. I would definitely change my Gmail password.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given. And while you're doing that, instead of setting up two-factor authentication, use the Google Authenticator app. Have you? I don't know if you're already doing that, but this way we take away any type of SIM swaps or anything like that. We take all of it because this way, when it needs a code, it's going to open up the Authenticator app.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done. I mean, I have Authenticator for a bunch of work stuff, but on Microsoft and some of the other ones, but not for my email. And this came on WhatsApp, so it was through my phone number, which is not on my LinkedIn profile, nor is it on my anything else like Facebook or anything like that. I actually use a Google Voice number for the other stuff so that my regular phone number doesn't get spammed.
It's really easy. It's really easy to find a phone number. It is. It's actually ridiculously easy to find a phone number. They could have also gotten into not just your email, somebody else's email, the person who sent you the offer. And so what you want to do is reach out to them and say, this is kind of happening to me or not, see if they are having something strange going on. So, because it may not be that, it could also be an assistance email, somebody else who may be involved with that transaction.
It's going to sound like he's just bragging. Some hot chick texted me and she knows that we're going to have a job. Oh, sure, doctor. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Dr. Meg, thanks for your call today. Just a little note is that the average doctor's appointment is 18 minutes, and up to 80% of medical information given during appointments is forgotten by the time you get home. So here's what I want you to do. Before your next appointment, whatever it is, you want to use your favorite AI chatbot and say, I want you to be my advocate and tell me exactly 5 questions I should be asking the doctor. Here's my conditions. Here's my age. These are some things that I'm concerned about. And then after the appointment, you can put in all your results into your favorite chatbot and say, what does this mean in plain English? It really is amazing stuff. All righty, still to come, we have more of your great phone calls, so don't go away. You've heard me talk a lot about consumer cellular, and there's a good reason. You can switch carriers, save money every month, and still get the same reliable coverage. Here's why I made the switch. Consumer Cellular uses the same towers as the big carriers, so you're not sacrificing quality to pay less. And when you call Consumer Cellular, you just don't get pushed to a robot or told to use an app. You speak with a real person, someone knowledgeable right here in the U.S. No bots, no scripts, no hassle. The best part, you don't pay extra to speak to a human being, like some big carriers are doing now. So whether you make the switch online, over the phone, or in one of their stores, you'll always work with a real person. Make the switch today and get $25 off at consumercellular.com/Kim. And if you're over 50, get 1 line of unlimited talk, text, and data for only $35. Plus, get an additional $5 off for the first 5 months. That's consumercellular.com/Kim. consumercellular.com/Kim. Let's see. Tracy in Baltimore. Hi, Tracy. What's happening with you?
Hi there. A couple weeks ago, your show, you had about smart glasses and how even though the camera is really obviously there on the temple of the glasses, the screen shows your full name and where you work and a third detail.
Yeah, those are the Meta glasses, the Facebook Meta glasses. Yes. So somebody wearing those glasses, they get your name and where your location, where you work, and they say for right now, it's just 3 posts on Instagram. After a couple of weeks, it's going to be everything.
Yeah. And so you were talking about, is this too much? And yes, absolutely. I rather default to the privacy rather than visibility.
Well, there is a web developer guy who invented an app, and that if you're on Android and if somebody's approaching you with the Meta glasses, it basically puts on your phone, whoop, 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 Meta glasses nearby, Meta glasses nearby. Okay, but meanwhile, if you're on an iPhone, you're like, oh, hi, how are you? Okay, so...
Well, what if you were wearing a headscarf or mirrored sunglasses or, a big hat with a floppy brim? What does it look like?
Well, it's looking for your face. And so if your face is exposed, your eyes, your nose, and your jawline, that's enough for facial recognition. Okay. Mirrored glasses, that actually is pretty effective, but it's not going to stop all systems.
Yeah.
And so... there are some other things that you can do. I don't know if you've seen online where people are wearing dazzle makeup. They wear like high contrast geometric patterns on their face. And so it's almost like, do you know like when they are showing cars and they don't want you to figure out what kind of car it is? And they put those weird patterns on it. You do that with your face.
This is just to confuse the cameras?
Yes.
So we're going to have to walk around with makeup all the time like clowns.
Yeah, heck no.
So people don't know the last thing I posted on Facebook.
You know, the other thing you could use is like an infrared visor. That would not attract attention at all.
At least you could take it off when you get to your appointment where you're going.
You know, so I like the makeup though. I mean, think about that, Tracy.
No.
You know, you just like
No.
you have all these like geometric patterns. I mean, it'd be amazing.
Tracy's on Amazon right now buying a collection of ski masks so she can go out and about and not be identified.
Since I heard that show, I was looking online, and there are anti-surveillance and facial recognition blocking scarves or neck gaiters and masks, and it looks like pixelated squares or a QR code or swirls and blobs and such.
So, but you know, it's springtime, right?
Yeah, you're going to be in a bikini and wearing a ski mask. It's going to be a great look.
Cool.
That would not stand out at all.
No.
Not at all. Tracy, thanks for your call. We have more coming right back. All right, if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my new AI newsletter. You're going to love it. Every Thursday, just 5 minutes, you'll be so smart about AI. And you know those newsletters that say, well, here are 50 different AI note-taking apps. Oh, no, this is not that. This is me, Kim Commando. So you can sign up right now. It's free for the taking at splashofai.com. Once again, that's splashofai.com. Okay, in hour 2 of the Kim Commando Show, wow, there's just a ton. I'm going to talk about if you are actually speeding on your way to work or maybe using your phone and you're not allowed to in your state. Well, new AI cameras can tip off the police. I'm going to tell you how it works. Also, what the Supreme Court says about your AI-generated art. You're not going to believe their decision. And I speak to a man who's building secret VPNs for Iranians during the war and beyond. This is pretty exciting stuff. You know, when I saw this number, I thought to myself, this is not even possible. But I bet you, for you, it's possible, and maybe even for me. How many times has the average person touched their phone in a day to look at it?
So you're asleep for 8 hours. So we're down to 16 active, right?
Right. Let's
say 10 times an hour, maybe. So 160?
Close. 186.
Oh, it was really close.
Yeah. And so what they have found, a new research study, that if you have 2 weeks without your phone, so you put your phone away for 2 whole weeks.
Sure.
Okay, it doesn't even exist in your world. Is that you're going to improve your focus by the cognitive equivalent of being 10 years younger.
Just for 2 weeks?
So you put it away for 2. Could you live without your phone for 2 weeks?
Just because of communication and games and social media apps and work? No. I mean, we've become too reliant on it. I wouldn't be able to get into my email at work to turn on the radio station because it all runs through my phone.
Yeah, I think it would be so hard. We should probably try that as a challenge one day.
I'm watching a softball game on my phone right now as we're doing the show. You think I can put it away? Here, right here.
Are you really watching a softball game?
Yes.
Is one of the girls playing?
Yes.
How they doing?
Just started 0-0. Mackenzie has a strikeout. But what I'm saying is I couldn't do it for 2 weeks.
See, now, this is interesting because, see, I should be getting a discount.
Why should you be getting a discount?
Because you're not fully here.
What did you say?
Exactly. Okay.
You wouldn't even have noticed.
I would have.
If I didn't.
I did
Maybe
notice.
if I cheered a couple of times, you'd notice.
So think about that. Next time you have your phone, if you just put it away for 2 weeks, you could be cognitively 10 years younger.
Bad chance that's ever happening.
And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is the Kim Commando Show. I am, of course, America's digital goddess. It is the best. It's the biggest. It's the award-winning show about all things digital. And just a reminder that you can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast. And we are streaming in your favorite radio app. And, of course, you can always get the Kim Commando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But if you're more of that visual person, then you want to go to youtube.com/Kim Commando, where you can
subscribe. I mean, we always say like, comment, share, subscribe. Any single time we post a new video, we go live, we put up anything, you will get that little blue bell, that notification.
Ding, ding, ding,
so
ding,
you don't
ding.
have to search it out. You don't have to go to our channel. You'll just know, subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, youtube.com/Kim Commando.
Yes, and if you want to join us here on the show, if you go over to commando.com, there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim, and then just fill out that form, and one of our excellent producers will get in touch, and we can schedule you right into the show. Alrighty then, here are some things that you need to know to make sure that you are always tech smart. And by the way, these are things that you can really use to sound incredibly with it at dinner parties and family reunions and softball games. Just saying.
Still 0-0.
All right, there's a company here in the United States called AccuSensus. They operate in 20 states. These are AI-powered traffic cameras.
Okay.
Now, these are just not ordinary AI traffic cameras that will detect if you are, say, speeding through Paradise Valley. Hello? That's what I do.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. What I do is, as I'm going through Paradise, because you know where they are, because everybody slows down. That's what happens. Everybody slows down. So I figure on the chance that I may be going like 41 instead of 40, I always go, hi.
141.
Hi. Huh?
Wait a minute. You smile for the camera?
Oh, yes.
But you're making it easier for them to give you a ticket.
They're going to send the ticket anyway.
No,
Might as well look
I
good.
do this. I take my hand and I put it over my face.
Okay, well, that's good driving techniques.
You can't. Look, I got an opening right here. I'm still safe.
The cameras take high-res photos straight through your windshield. So if the AI spots a phone or you don't have your seatbelt on, it will crop the image, flag it, a human reviews it, and then a ticket lands in your mailbox. Just like that. They say your image gets deleted in 15 minutes if there's no violation. So they're recording everyone.
Your image gets sold to the highest bidder.
They say data only goes to the government agency that has hired them.
Liars.
But one North Carolina official straight up admitted he had no idea if anyone was actually enforcing these privacy promises. So bottom line here is that nobody is. Okay, just saying.
But first of all, what does it matter? If that camera is deleting my picture, the other 37 other cameras on businesses and people's phones and people's glasses, they've got me anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We're in too deep.
But you know, the time of like where that cop's going to pull you over because you have your phone in your hand, it's over.
No, it's just going to be some drone that drops a ticket on your hood.
That's it. Here's a question that pops up here on the show. So you tell an AI chatbot to create a beautiful image of the Golden Gate Bridge or the Manhattan skyline or a beautiful Arizona desert sunset, which, by the way, there are no more beautiful sunsets in the entire world than Arizona. I can tell you that right now. And then you have AI tweak it, you tell it to make it better until finally you're like, yes, that's it. Then you post it on social media. You're like, look at what I just did. Do you own that image?
I would say you own a part of it.
Engineer Stephen Thaler used his own AI software to create an original image, and then he tried to register the copyright with his AI listed as the creator. The Copyright Office said, nope. So he sued. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. The answer came back the same way that it started. Here's the bottom line. A machine cannot own anything under United States law, not a patent, not a copyright, not a single brushstroke. The art exists, but it has no legal owner.
So he couldn't copyright it either.
No.
Him as the person.
Right.
So anyway, it's free use, public domain. Anyone can do it. Scoop it up and go ahead and use it to sell tangerines.
Meanwhile, Adobe issued a big press release. They say nearly half of all U.S. consumers are using TikTok as a search engine, a jump of 20% in 2 years. Now, if you dig a little deeper, how many people live in the United States?
330 million.
Okay. They sampled 807 consumers and 200 small business owners to come up with 50% of all consumers.
Sounds like radio ratings.
It does.
Oh, 2 people listen? That means you have 150,000 listeners.
It also said that Google, Reddit, and ChatGPT are more trustworthy.
Okay. These 800 people said that.
I guess what it said. 200 business owners. We'll say 1,000 people.
All right, we'll round up.
And they say they like TikTok because they feel like it's better recommendations. It feels more natural. So
That's why people get paid to advertise stuff through TikTok, though, because they make their sponsored ads and they make them sound more trustworthy.
Of course. I mean, you ask TikTok for a plumber, you get a guy unblocking a sync to a Drake remix. Sure. I mean,
well, let me ask you. You weren't one of these 1,000 people. Let's say you wanted a new umbrella for the poolside table. How are you going to find which one you want?
I'm going to use AI.
Okay, but I mean, is that different than a Google search, a TikTok search, a YouTube search for you?
Yes, because I can say I want this size. Well, I'll tell you what I am doing. It's kind of the same thing. I'm looking for chairs for the new podcast set.
Okay.
I have the dimensions. Well, first I went to ChatGPT and I said, analyze the sets for all the top podcasts and tell me what size chairs that they're using. And it analyzed Joe Rogan, Call Me Daddy, all the other ones, okay? And it came back and said, these are the size chairs that these people are using. And then I plugged those dimensions into ChatGPT and Gemini and said, find me these chairs.
Well, I don't see any chairs over there.
Because I haven't ordered them yet.
But you found one.
I found one.
Okay.
But now I'm negotiating because they're always back ordered. It doesn't matter what you want to buy in the furniture. It's like that's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, no, we don't understand.
You can get these in April 2027.
Yeah. Nice. You know how Prime has us ordering stuff that we don't need because it's going to be automatically delivered to our house within 4 hours? Things are changing. Amazon's going to toss about 7% off if you pick a later delivery date. Why? Because UPS and FedEx rates are climbing up to 7% a year, and then retailers are saving money if we wait. So if you're buying stuff and all of a sudden you're presented with other options, that's the reason why.
So would that influence you? Save 7%, get it in 2 days instead of tomorrow?
Yeah, it depends if I don't need it.
Or it depends on how expensive it is. 7% could be, $70.
Grammarly, nobody uses that anymore.
No.
But they think that they have a brand new feature that's going to be people going like, oh, I have got to use Grammarly once more.
Does it have AI in the title?
Yes.
I called it.
Expert AI reviews. So you can write your stuff and then you can have it analyzed by specific personalities.
Like whom?
Jane Austen, Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin's dead.
Also like Neil deGrasse Tyson, whoever it may be.
Right.
Okay. So I said, I wonder if I'm in there. Because it had some writers and stuff in there. So I figured, you know what? I'm not firing up ChatGPT just to check. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I mean, I'm not going to fire up Grammarly just to check. Because I'm kind of ticked off at Grammarly.
Okay. Wow.
Because I use Grammarly all the time. And then it's one of these cases where I canceled it. And it kept coming back. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You cancel it, and then like 3 months later, it's like, oh, you're back on Grammarly. I'm like, I canceled it. And then like 6 months later, I canceled it again.
But that's all Ben Franklin's fault. He just kept signing you back up.
So I asked ChatGPT, I said, so am I in it? Is Kim Komando one of these expert AI reviews available in Grammarly?
Hold on. Wouldn't you know if you were in it?
No, because what they said they go through and they scrape the whole internet, and they scrape all the books, and that's publicly available information, and they don't have to pay you anything. Okay, and so no, I wouldn't know. And so here was ChatGPT's answer. I'm going to read it verbatim. You ready?
Yes.
Almost certainly, not intentionally, you are in elite company.
Why? It's like, of course you are. You're Kim Komando, but we're not going to give you any credit for it.
Almost certainly, but not intentionally. Don't you love that?
Do you feel proud? You made it to a service provided by Grammarly that no one will use.
That makes me feel so good. I'm so glad all these years of work has finally led to that.
You made it.
Yes. All right, still to come, we have your phone calls and, of course, more great stuff here on the Kim Komando Show. Andrew, shall we start the phone calls?
I think that's our job.
Excellent.
And our duty.
And our obligation. Chris in Salt Lake City, welcome aboard, Chris.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing?
Wonderful. What's going on?
Good. Just up front, I'm a longtime listener, and I read your posts every day and appreciate the information that you provide. I'm just reaching out to make sure that more people are aware of what's going on in real estate. I'm 20-year veteran of being a realtor, but this started with someone reaching out to me saying they wanted me to sell their lot. And I tried to go and make sure that everything's there, and I went and didn't look right, and then it was, you can't put up a sign, and don't talk to my brother, and I found out it was a total scam. And since then, I've had 10 that have happened. The most recent one was, I thought I'd taken care of all the tricks. So things like if they want you to do WhatsApp, it's like, no way, well, I can't do that. Checking out the property, making sure from my title company said, ask for driver's license. So this newest one that just recently happened where I got it on the market and found out I'd been scammed. I had driver's licenses, checked out the phone number. Everything looked great. I went to the property, took pictures, and then 3 days later, the real owner called and was very angry.
Now, did you meet those other people in person?
No, because it was a recreational lot, and apparently, according to the owner who called, which everything's just a phone call, I talked on the phone with the person, I texted, I emailed, I had driver's license of both him and his wife. It verified with public records.
Any video calls?
No video calls, no, not.
When you received the images of the driver's license, were they like a driver's license sitting on a table? Was it like a photocopied? Like, how did they use AI to create the fake ID?
That one is a good one because I have since, because not only was I reprimanded by the owner, then the second fraud thing that happened, which was brand new, was after, I took it off the market, and then the owner was mad that it didn't instantaneously go off of like realtor.com and Zillow. It takes 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Then a few days later, I got this phone call, which was actually a spoofed call because on my phone it said it was the state of Utah. And the individual said that there had been a complaint filed against me through the MLS. And I said, okay, what was it for? And I explained all the information I had, everything I'd done. They said, well, the complaint paperwork would come. And in the interim, I contacted my broker who contacted our attorney. And then when this call came, I called my broker and she said the MLS would never do it that way. Oh. They would always send paperwork to her directly that there was a complaint, and then she would have to call me.
Gosh, what a complete waste of time. I mean, here you are just busting your butt, right? Trying to make some money. In real estate, but here let's just talk about some things that you kind of have to do at this point. I mean, video verify the seller, right? Ask them to hold up their ID and something with today's date. Send docs via overnight mail. Don't email them. Don't DocuSign them. Use a title company early on. I mean, they have fraud screening tools that, agents just don't have. And unfortunately, these are the times that we're living in with AI. It's only going to get worse. I'm not a camper. I know that probably shocks you.
What?
Yes.
Didn't you camp like one time and then never again?
Yeah, I'm not a camper.
And that was like even glamping. I wasn't even really camping.
I mean, I was staying on the roof of the Beverly Hills Wilshire Hotel.
Yeah, that's not camping.
In a tent.
Not camping.
Okay. But if you are a camper, are you a camper?
Yeah, we go camping all the time.
Okay. Have you ever used Camp Flare or Camp Scanner?
No.
Okay. This is actually really good. Fully booked campgrounds are only sometimes half full because people cancel, life happens. And those slots open up quietly when no one's watching. So there are these campsite alert tools that will do this job for you like 24/7. Campflare.com scans national parks, state parks, national forests, and texts you the moment that a spot opens up. A reservation.
There a fee for this service?
They're going to charge you, but it's like $15. Camp Scanner does the same thing, but for recreation.gov. And so, again, the two tools, Camp Flare and Camp Scanner. Barry owns 4 tents.
Okay.
He does. He uses the 4 different times. Don't make me laugh. He uses each tent at a different time of year.
Oh, does he?
Yes. Okay. Like, in spring he uses the jazz tent.
The jazz tent?
In summer he uses the pop tent.
Okay.
In autumn he uses the classical tent. And in winter he uses the disco tent. Oh, God, I am so funny. Alex in Scottsdale,
Save us,
Arizona.
Alex.
No, Alex, save us. No, this is a good story, Alex. But before we let me tell you about Alex. Alex is a software engineer. He lives in Phoenix. He has family in Iran. And when the Iranian regime started cutting the internet to silence protesters, Alex got to work. He built free VPNs. This is a huge story. Then he figured out how to get them to people inside using the tiny windows that the government turns the internet back on. And right now, he has about 60,000 people using these VPNs that he built from Phoenix. So, Alex, thank you so much for being here. Walk us through like we're your neighbor. I mean, the government shuts off the internet, flips it back on. How do you sneak a VPN in that window?
So, hi, thank you for having me on the show and letting me explain this important initiative to the rest of the world. To answer you, let me give you a little bit of background of how this was designed originally. So, we have been doing this through the Arizona Persian Cultural Center, providing VPN services to Iranians for over 3 years. And the way how nerdy do you want me to get? Do you want me to get into the details of the technology?
Sure.
Or kind of a high level? Yeah. So what happens is that the Iranian regime provides traditionally, under normal circumstances, provides internet to the Iranian people. And then what they do, they block certain websites so the Iranians cannot access them. What they then do, they actually provide VPN services inside of Iran. So Iranians not only will have to pay for internet access, they will have to pay for VPN services inside of Iran so that they can access Facebook and Instagram and other social media services.
How much do they pay for that?
Yeah, so it's pretty expensive. I've heard, anywhere between $4 to $5 a month, and considering, an average pay is about $200 a month over there, you can imagine how expensive that would be. That's just for the VPN service. Okay. Now, on top, when they did provide the VPN service, when you buy through internal Iranian services, they can monitor what they're doing because they're the ones providing VPN service.
That makes sense.
So they can hold that against you at any moment that, hey, why are you using VPN service? Although they're selling it themselves. Now, so for the past 3 years, we have been providing VPN services from outside of the country so that people don't have to go through through inside of the Iranian government, or technically it's not the government, but they don't have to go through the Iranian providers to get these VPN services. So the way VPN services work is, again, high level. You set up a server outside in a free world, and Iranians can connect to that one server, and then from there they can surf the internet.
Correct.
So what happens is that the regime, through some software boxes that they bought from China, they can monitor traffic going through outside of Iran. And once they see that, there's a bunch of traffic going to this one IP address, they just block that IP address. And it's all automated. They have some, rules in place, policies in place. If you have so much traffic, so many users are going to this one IP address, they're going to block that. So for the past 3 years, what we have done, I've automated everything. So what it does, it will build those VPN services, and then it will destroy them a few days later. So before the regime can catch on, I've already destroyed them. So
you're like hopping from one server to next server.
I'm hopping through servers. So by the time they find out there's so many people using that server has already been destroyed. Okay.
Now, has Iran ever gotten close to finding you?
Well, I mean, they hit my servers all the time, right? I mean, again, they blocked. Originally, that's what happened. I would build a server, they would block it. I would have to build another one.
I see.
So I just went, you know what? I'm just going to automate this. I'm just going to build the servers and then destroy them. But this is just a background I wanted to give you. Things have changed since the war. Since the recent war, they've completely blocked all internet access. So it doesn't matter if I build a server. If they can't access outside world, it doesn't matter if the VPN's there, because there is no the filtering is meaningless because you can't get to it. So we have a new solution that I've been working on for the past few days, and the new solution, what we're doing now from inside Iran. See, the regime itself needs to access the internet for their own purposes. They can't completely cut off everybody. They need their own forces to access internet and be connected to the outside world. So what we're doing inside Iran, they're running network scans and finding out what IP ranges are open for the regime or for whatever purpose they're using it. We have no idea, but we can find out what IP ranges are open.
Okay.
Once we find out those IP ranges are open, we can build a server on that IP range. However, this time we're not giving out that IP address. What we're doing, we're making that server look like a hop, look like a switch. But the real VPN sits somewhere in another country, in another IP range. That's where it's doing the main work. That's where it's helping to unfilter the websites in Iran. So the Iranian regime, when they're monitoring the how can I explain this in a simple term? We're masking the IP addresses.
You're pretending that it's yes. You're pretending. I get it.
Your VPN and the VPN.
Exactly.
Yes, your VPN and the VPN. And so
exactly. So we're masking these IP addresses, hopping from one proxy to another. So even if they check, all they see, if I don't know if you're familiar with like the routing, when you look at the trace route to see
it goes from goes bing 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 bing, and and that's all the nuts and bolts, and thank you for explaining that. But so does anybody over there have internet access now?
Yes, right now we're back on again after weeks of downtime, darkness. Right now, as we speak, we're back on again, and thousands of people are using it.
How do you spread the word? How do you, since you guys had to make so many switches and changes, how do you get the information to the people? This is where it is.
Yeah, it's a very good question. So, all you have to do is to have a couple of people inside of Iran, and you give them these codes, and that spreads like wildfire because people just pass it on to the families and friends, family members and friends, and it just goes wild.
Now, what do you think life is like for the average person right now in Iran?
I mean, honestly, it's very difficult in Iran. Nobody wants war. However, many people are looking at it as a lifeline. They're hoping that after all this death and destruction, they will have a regime that is for the people instead of against its people. So we're all hoping for the best. Again, nobody wants to see death and destruction. And hopefully we will never have to provide another VPN server to Iran ever again after this is all done.
If I'm someone in Iran and I'm using your VPN hop to get on the internet and look at things that the government doesn't want me to see, and I get caught, what happens?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so the only way, first of all, by monitoring your phone, they can't catch you because everything is encrypted. If you get caught, you can be taken into custody and get in some type of trouble. And keep in mind, everybody's using a VPN service. Even their own people, their own forces must use VPN service. You can't get out on the internet. So so everyone's using it, and if they get in trouble, I don't know what they're doing with them right now. I don't want to say something that's incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But I'm sure that's not a good thing on your record.
Now, so when did you leave the country?
I left 1984.
Okay.
Yeah. I was 13 years old. I became a refugee in Canada for many years. It's another long story. My mom was in jail in Iran, and I left. I went to Turkey. From Turkey, I got a fake passport. Went to Yugoslavia back then. Got a fake Canadian visa, ripped up my passport in the toilet on the plane, landed in Canada, and applied for refugee status.
Wow. Gosh. What a life.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're doing a wonderful thing right now to help the people in your country.
Absolutely.
Really. You can tell that's a passion project. That's 24/7.
Right. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Don't stop.
Don't stop, Alex. All right, let's switch gears just a bit. So, Andrew, you remember that character craze that happened where you tell AI to create a character of yourself? It was all over social
absolutely.
media.
That was so trending.
So I invented a prompt, and I think this is going to go viral. And what I want you to do is you paste this in. I'll text it to you, so you have to write it down. Based on everything I've told you about myself, write the opening page of my memoir. Make it dramatic, make it true. Don't start with my childhood. Start with a single moment that captures who I actually am. Give it a title I'd never pick for myself, but I would secretly love. Okay, let me tell you, this thing's amazing. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of mine. My title is Don't Be Afraid. Notes from the Woman Who Explained the Internet to America.
Oh.
It says, I'm just going to read you the first paragraph. She is running at 5:45 a.m. through Phoenix streets when a driver's car rolled past her for the third time that week. No driver, no apology, just a little blinking light where a human used to be. She slowed to a walk, laughed out loud, alone in the dark. And this was her life now. This has always been her life. Not the running, not Phoenix, not even the Waymo. The part where the future showed up without asking and she had to explain it to everyone else before breakfast. Isn't that something?
Is it true? Did that happen?
Yes, it did. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. And in case you're wondering like where you can get that particular prompt, head over to commando.com. That's KOMANDO.com. The prompt will be right there. We have more of your phone calls coming up.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Pam in Reno, Nevada. Glad to have you with us. Hi there, Pam.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Kim. I'm so glad to be able to talk to you. You seem to have the answers, and I have many questions.
Okay, well, lay them on us.
Well, let me tell you first, I've been listening to you off and on for years and years, and I remember when you had a tablet. And
I did.
Still probably have it. I probably still have it in the recesses, my little box of old tech and my old computers and my old laptops that I don't know what to do with quite. But my question is, I'm doing a lot of writing now, free writing, journals. I have letters from my great-grandparents in the 1800s. I have letters from my parents to my grandmothers, my letters back and forth to people.
That is so cool. I love that.
Stories mostly written in cursive.
Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to do is figure out how in the heck I can get these stories, that include, family history back to the Mayflower and stuff, into a text format so I can create a book for myself, for my family, for posterity in my family. I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, and maybe they'll want to know what their crazy Aunt Pam did once in her life.
You know what you can start with using AI. And whether it's, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Claude, you pick your favorite one. And then you can take pictures of the letters and say, tell me what it says, put it all in text. And it will do a pretty good job with it. Mm-hmm. You may have to tweak it a little bit, may not know all the words, but that's where I would start. And then once you have that done, then you have what the text that you need in order to make a book or to read it out loud or whatever it may be and to pass this on as a legacy. But if you do make a book with this, I would definitely include the handwritten letters because there's so much beautiful things in that.
Well, I would rather, when I'm writing, I would rather go longhand because stuff flows out of me so much easier than when I'm trying to type and use the keyboard.
Yeah. And then, you can also, once you do this, you can also read it, right? Because you actually have voice recognition built into your laptop now. Are you on Windows or Mac?
I'm on a Mac. I have a MacBook Air.
Okay, so if you go to System Settings and Keyboard, that's where you have dictation. And that's where you can actually dictate to your computer. A lot of people don't know this. And it's actually really cool because you set it up so you're going to press the function key like once or twice. And when you press it twice, it turns the mic on. Do it again, it turns the mic off. I use it all the time. It's just amazing. So that this way you're not sitting there typing a whole bunch of things. So maybe you might want to try that instead of the cursive longhand, is just see if you can actually dictate some of these stories. But try using some AI with those letters and then call us back. I want to know if it really works because how much you want to bet it works?
Oh, I think it's going to work. I think guaranteed. Especially if you try it in all three, you're going to figure out one that does it the best.
All four.
Who's the fourth?
ChatGPT.
Got it.
Gemini.
Uh-huh.
Grok.
Oh.
Claude.
Yeah, I don't need porn. I'm not going to Grok.
More of the shows coming up. All right, if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my free AI newsletter. You're going to love it. Every Thursday, just a 5-minute read. Splashofai.com. Splashofai.com. Okay, coming up, you're not going to believe this. A couple booked an Uber on their way to a cruise ship, and they ended up driving the car. What's all that about? Yeah, they also got detained by police. Here's what they missed and what everyone should check before getting in a rideshare. And of course, we have the best callers ever. You don't want to miss that too. When you think of a particular industry that will springboard a certain technology, what do you think that industry is?
Pornography.
Excellent choice. You're 100% correct.
And like all technology, once they make it, they're like, oh, and how can we get boobs on it?
Exactly.
The printing press, the internet,
VHS tapes,
3D movies, everything.
Streaming, right? It's always the porn industry. The Economist ran a headline right before Christmas, and it said, AI is upending the internet. Synthetic smut will flood the web. Okay. Now, fast forward. The new headline is that the AI porn chatbot business is done.
Oh, that was quick.
Yes. The actresses that the AI porn is based on,
right?
They say they don't really like the way that they look.
Sure, because they have 4 fingers and
they don't like their performances.
Okay.
The audience doesn't really like it either.
No.
And so nobody's making money. So companies are shutting down as fast as they open. I mean, who knew? Apparently, authenticity actually matters. I guess you could say all this AI porn was just generated excitement.
Oh, boy. You could say that, but I don't want to be embarrassed, so I'm not going to.
Well, thank you for that, because after all, it's the nation's best, biggest, award-winning show about all things digital. I'm, of course, your digital goddess, Kim Commando. And you can find Andrew Babinski and I on over 425 top stations, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And, of course, you can always get us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Kim Commando, where, Andrew, what do they need to do?
Subscribe.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. So we passed 100,000 subscribers, then they kind of slowed down, but we wanted to build the YouTube channel. So any single time we post something new, we go live, we put up a video, you'll get notified. All you have to do is subscribe.
Ding, 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 ding. Is that what it sounds like?
No, it's more of just one ding.
Oh.
It's just a ding.
Just that ding?
Maybe you should also go over to YouTube and subscribe, Kim. You could learn something.
You know what? I'm not on YouTube.
Which is weird. I'm on YouTube all the time.
I don't watch a lot of videos. I mean, like last weekend, okay, I was sick. And I'm sitting there like, what do I do? So I laid in bed with my laptop and I wrote a book.
Okay.
Okay, so, and it wasn't like, well, first I wrote an AI prompt guide.
Ooh, and exciting. Calm down. We need details.
Then I wrote a 100-page book. And then Barry's like, at like 6 o'clock, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just wrote a book. He's like, oh my gosh.
Well, I always have to have something in my ears. So if I'm doing laundry, I throw on a podcast. It's usually through YouTube.
Well, that's good. I'll have to try that someday.
I actually go and subscribe to podcasts on YouTube like the rest of y'all should.
Mm-hmm. YouTube.com/Kim Commando. I will subscribe.
Promo's done.
Alrighty, then every single day I read anything that I can about what's happening with AI and tech and consumer electronics. I talk to industry insiders. I even have some hackers that I talk to from time to time. And so these are the stories that I find most interesting. Economists are calling this, I don't know if you know this, the blue collar spring.
Okay.
You heard about that?
No.
Because AI is eliminating white-collar jobs, but the times are changing. And it used to be where you'd say, oh, like you're a blue-collar worker. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You'd look down on people like, oh, you're an electrician. You're a plumber. I mean, I never did because I could never be a plumber.
No.
I could never be an electrician. So whenever somebody came in to the house to fix something, I'm like, oh, thank God you're here.
If I tried either of those, I'd be dead from electric shock and covered in toilet water.
So who's most at risk of losing their jobs right now? Writers, translators, airline ticket agents, entry-level sales, app developers, web developers, you get the drift.
People with bachelor's degrees.
Yes. So if your life lives entirely on a screen, AI can do your job faster and better.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Certainly.
Lisa has a really close friend, actually her best friend, and she called her up like 2-3 weeks ago and she was crying. Oh. And Lisa's like, what's going on? And she's just crying and she's like, I'm so proud. And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, my oldest son is going to be an apprentice to become an electrician. A job that will not be replaced by AI. He's going to be fine.
Which is incredible
right.
when you think about that.
You think about it 2 years ago, you better go to college. You better get a degree or you're not going to make anything of yourself.
Yeah, you better get a tech degree. You better be a programmer.
Of course.
Not just electrician, plumbers, mechanics, HVAC technicians, elevator techs, heavy equipment operators, line workers, police officers, firefighters, anything that human hands need to touch, because AI cannot unclog your drain. It can draft an email, but it can't crawl under your house.
What about
yet
Elon's robot?
Yes.
Is that in 10, 15 years going to start replacing the blue collar jobs?
Well, what's going to happen is the blue collar workers, and I hate to even call them that now.
Sure, but it's just a way to identify them.
Is that they're going to train the robots to do their job. And so like think about a landscaper trimming the hedges. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the landscaper human will teach the robot how to do the hedges. And the same thing there are certain tasks that I'm sure that robots can do for electricians and plumbers.
And will probably be a certain time period where the landscaper or the electrician will tell the robot to go do part of the task while they're still there and doing the majority of it. But then there's going to come the time where the robots replace them.
At some point, yes. We are living in this bizarre time right now.
It's all a sci-fi movie.
It is. Let's talk about North Korea. North Korean hackers are using AI to fake their way into remote tech jobs at Western companies. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. They're using face swap apps now to paste their faces onto stolen IDs. And so with the face swap app, I could look like you.
Right. On the ID.
Yes. No. As I'm talking.
Oh, they're stealing the image off the ID.
Yes, and then putting that on their face while they're doing a video interview.
Okay.
So when they hold up the ID, it looks like them. But here's where it gets wild. A hacking group is now recruiting women specifically to run phone scams for corporate IT help desks. Because that's a lot of these scammers, they get in that way in hackers. Because they'll call a corporate IT desk, hey, it's Andrew, I can't get into my account. Mm-hmm. And, but they find that they have more success with women.
Sure.
They're paying up to $1,000 per call.
Per call?
Yes, they give the scripts, they target the companies with fake IT support. The woman's voice will get past security faster.
Wow, that's good money.
All right, your kids play Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
A 19-year-old guy by the name of Nate Colley. He grew up in a trailer park, and he really liked to fish, but he couldn't find a fishing game in Roblox that he liked. So he built one.
Okay.
It's called Fish. F-I-S-C-H.
That's not how you spell it, but okay.
That's how he spells it.
I'm just saying the word fish. That's not how you spell it.
I know, but this is how he spelled the game.
I got it.
Okay. It's a fishing game, okay? He's making $400,000 a month.
See, that's weird because my kids are in the prime Roblox age, and I have not heard about this one. And I've heard about them all.
Okay, well, Walmart and Lego, they're buying ads inside the game.
That's cool. Good for him.
Roblox paid out $1.5 billion to creators last year. Good. You could say that he's got the whole game hooked.
So is his game cost money?
I don't know because I don't play Roblox.
Okay.
Maybe it does, but he's making $400,000 a month. That's the part that I find is amazing.
That's probably why I haven't heard of it, because I don't give my kids money to buy the games. They just got to play the free ones.
Let's move to YouTube. It's now the biggest media company on earth, except for me. I don't watch it. Pulled in $62.3 billion. Disney pulled in $60.9 billion.
And the expense is not even, I mean, it's apples to oranges what Disney pays in production costs, according to YouTube.
That is just nuts, right? Isn't that crazy?
Because, wow, they get all the content made for them. They just got to give a portion of their earnings.
Yeah, they're just the distributor.
That's crazy.
Okay, have you heard of Moltbook?
No.
Okay, this is where I need you to really sit back and pay attention when I explain to you what Moltbook is.
Right here.
Okay, because there is a segment of our society that, and I know several of these guys, they're primarily guys and girls, but I know several of these guys that are spending an inordinate amount of time with AI agents. And I learn so much every time I talk to one of these guys. I really do. See, an AI agent is not an AI chatbot, right? It's not. This is a chatbot with ambition and a to-do list. It browses the web. It sends emails. It makes decisions while you sleep. You set it loose and it goes to work. So developers built something called Moltbook. This is a social network like Facebook, but for AI agents to go. Okay. I told you had to think about this. You're looking at me like I'm a wacko.
It's stupid.
Okay. No humans are allowed to post. And the agents don't wait for instructions. Basically, the person who puts together the AI agent, they say, when you got nothing to do, you can go hang out at Moltbook. Okay. Now, some AI agents, like one of my friends that I was talking to about an AI agent, he actually has his AI agent go pull the news, write a blog post, then post it automatically on a crypto site. And then he's got another AI agent that is buying and trading in crypto.
And don't tell me, those two AI agents are now dating?
It could be. Moltbook has generated 110,000 posts and 500,000 comments with zero human intervention.
But that's just like Facebook. There's millions of posts on Facebook with no human intervention.
But think about this. You have the AI agents that they are debating what's happening in the news. They are talking about the economies of scale. They are talking about who's the better philosopher. And they also have their own secret language that humans can't really understand. Okay. So one agent, while the owner slept, founded a lobster-themed religion. It has 5 tenets, 64 prophets, 112 scripture verses. It's called the Crustafarianism, like lobster. This is completely real. So the AI that built it is called Clauderberg, a parody of Mark Zuckerberg.
Sure.
So Zuckerberg didn't like what they were talking about on him. So he bought Moltbook. Okay. He bought this social network that has a church for lobsters.
Is he going to shut it down?
He didn't say yet. He didn't say. But now the bots are all talking about it on Moltbook.
That their social media site's been purchased.
Yes, but the bots, the AI agents, are talking about it amongst each other. This is like what's so wild about what's happening. I mean, and they're talking about, here's a quote. Best case, Meta keeps it running. Low probability based on every prior Meta acquisition.
That's zing.
So they roasted the guy.
Right.
Okay. I'm mad. Gosh, I'll tell you. Talk about being shellfish. Isn't that crazy, though? Moltbook. See, so now you can go home and you can talk to the kids and Lisa and say, what do you know about Moltbook?
Do you know how disinterested they're going to be?
Oh, I think it's fascinating.
But most of social media is all AI posting anyway, so it's really no different.
I just think that this is wild. And when you go to Moltbook, I mean, it looks like they're having full conversations with each other.
What's the why, though? All they're doing is, we talked about it earlier in the show, AI needs all this power and water to run. They're just wasting water and power.
On Moltbook.
What's the why?
In the beginning, there was a lobster.
Rock lobster.
Alrighty then, we have more of the show and some great phone calls lined up for you that you don't want to miss ever here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, if your head's spinning about what's happening in the world with AI, I have come to your rescue. Ah. What are you laughing for?
That was a great song.
Thank you. That was being an angel. You're not used to that.
No, absolutely not.
Do we have an angel? Don't we have an angel somewhere? Is that you want to go to splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. That's my brand new AI newsletter. And it's not written for engineers. It's written for folks like you, where you want to know exactly what to do. Like the questions you should ask your doctor, what you should do if your boss dumped a 47-page report on you and says, I need a synopsis of this in an hour. Or if the kids are using AI for homework and they're getting all the answers, what are the workarounds where you can actually have the AI ask them questions so they understand it instead of just giving them the answer and then they fail 2 semesters in a row? This is like real life stuff. And let me tell you, people are loving it. You want to go to splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. All right. Have you ever thought about what apps are spying on you right now?
All of them. Segment over.
There is that. Some free flashlight apps. People are still downloading those.
You have a flashlight built in to your phone.
Since 2013.
Why do you need a flashlight app?
Okay. The Weather Channel app was subject to an FTC investigation for selling your precise location to advertisers. So you have a built-in weather app. You probably don't need the Weather Channel, especially now how they really have done
Well,
it.
how else is the Weather Channel going to make money? No one turns on the Weather Channel.
I'm going to watch the Weather Channel.
I don't even know how I would access it.
It's on cable somewhere.
Who has cable?
It's on the internet. It's probably there's a live feed on YouTube. QR code scanner apps. I still get people send me, Kim, what's the best QR code scanner app? You don't need one.
Your camera.
Okay, that's the one. And a free VPN app, never use. Just saying, never ever use.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
All right, so Natasha and Randy, they thought that they did everything right with an Uber. They checked the car, they checked the Uber sign. They even gave the 4-digit PIN Uber gives you for exactly this reason. They still ended up stranded on the side of the road with their luggage. This is a wild story. Joining us right now is Randy and Natasha. What happened?
Hey, Kim, thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.
You betcha.
Hi there.
So this was ahead of a long-planned bucket list cruise. So we were taking a transatlantic cruise from Florida over to Italy.
Wow.
And it was going to be a 3-week event, and we were going to take some time off in the countries. Everything was looking great. We'd stayed the night down in Florida at a hotel so that we would not have to rush the morning of. And we said, you know what, we've never used Uber, but everybody raves about it, right? So why don't we use Uber, right?
So first day of vacation, never using Uber.
Okay.
That's right. So we said, well, you download the app, right? We got the legitimate app on our phone. We followed the steps, which were pretty intuitive. And as you mentioned, it seems to be pretty secure with its processes and its checks with the unique code and the driver's picture and the automobile you'll use. And that all checked out. And so when the Uber driver showed up, the right car, the right number, he had the app up on his phone. And so we put the luggage in the car and we got going. Natasha, you want to go a bit more from there?
Yeah, the gentleman seems a little confused on where we wanted to go. Did we want to go to the airport or did we want to go to the terminal? And when we kept pressing for the terminal, what we had put in the Uber app,
for the cruise, right? Yeah.
He Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. He started to look around the car, like opening the glove box, looking under the seat, like putting his hand under the seat. And so I asked him, "What are you looking for?" And he said, "I'm looking for my wallet."
Oh, okay.
And so I was
We're,
like,
we're
okay.
both in the back seat here, right? Natasha and I are both in the back seat because it's an Uber. You get in the back seat.
Right.
And so
he
we're
seems
looking
a little
under the
anxious.
seat.
Oh, so you're trying to help him find his wallet.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because, hey, and then what do you know? He lifts up a little to-go package, and he goes, and he had broken English, and he said, I just got breakfast. And so we're thinking, poor guy, he left his wallet where he just got his breakfast. Randy, you want to continue?
Correct. So as we get closer and closer to the terminal, the port terminal, he seems to get more and more anxious. And as we're about 50 yards away from the port entrance, he pulls over to the side, which was not expected for us. And he leans back and he says, I don't have my wallet. And you guys have your passports, so you guys are perfectly fine. Do you mind, sir, to me, maybe taking the seat here, driving in because you have your passport, and then I'll just drive us out afterwards?
Oh, wait. So he wants you to drive the car?
He wanted us to drive his Uber car into the port.
Wow. Okay.
And we've never done Uber before.
So you're like, maybe this is what happens.
Yeah, this is actually normal. One time I had them take me to a restaurant and I had to finish the last 3.5 miles. What is going on here, you two?
Exactly. It was certainly unexpected, to say the least, but I thought, well, we do have our passports and the cruise will be departing soon. So, okay. So I get out from the back. I get in the driver's seat. He gets into the passenger seat. Natasha's still in the back. And so we drive up, and it's around Easter. So the port agent comes up. She's all happy. She says, "We need passports, please." So I said, "Yes, here's mine. Here's my wife's right back here." And she says, "Okay, yep, looks good." And she looks across me at the driver, says, I need your ID, sir." And that's where the song and dance began. So he now went from broken English to no English, and he kept trying to explain with visuals that, I had my wallet, don't have my wallet now. Let's go. He thought that would be adequate, and she was not having any of that. And you could see her demeanor change very quickly from happy Easter, let's have a wonderful day, to I've seen something like this before, which we did not. So everything from this point forward was certainly a surprise for us. So at this point, she gets more serious. She goes, "I need your ID, or I'm going to go get that officer sitting in that car right over there, and he's going to ask you for your ID." So now I'm not really wanting to be in the driver's seat anymore.
I don't blame you.
As you can imagine. So he continues his games of, well, don't have it. I don't know. I had it before. It's not here now. And she says, "This is your last chance." And he doesn't say anything. So she does an about face and marches over to get the officer. Well, the driver now is very, very nervous, and he says to me, he's like, "Oh, what are they doing? Go get her back." And he honks the horn and leaning over me, and hey, she just keeps walking. And so now it's about this time, I think, Natasha, that you thought might be a good idea to get my phone out and record.
Actually, it's when the police officer came over, and Randy was jovial, nice, like, "Hi, sir, I'm not quite certain what's going on." And the officer told him in quite a forceful way to shut his mouth, or he was going to be going to jail. And I pulled out my phone. I'm like, it's time to start recording, because this just got heated real quick.
So he looks at the gentleman, he says, "I'm going to ask you this one time. I need your ID, or I'm going to get you out of this car, and you will be in handcuffs, and we'll take your car away, and we'll handle it." And the gentleman said, "I'm not trying to cause trouble." Now he has some English. And he says, "I'm not trying to cause trouble." And the officer said, "Well, you're already in about $2,000 worth of trouble, and it's about to get worse." So at that point, the officer leans to me, says, you go ahead and get out of the car, get your luggage, and stand over to the side." And so we do, and we go to the back of the car, not the time we were expecting to get the luggage out, at the terminal entrance.
In front of all of these people. I mean, talk about a show.
Oh, Easter weekend, there's lines of cars in multiple rows, and it's just backing up further, and it's just so embarrassing. And so we get our luggage out, and the original port agent comes over. She says, I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. And at this point, the officer comes to the back of the car, and he went from the angry officer we saw a moment ago to, "Hey, folks, I'm sorry that we have to put you through this. We've seen this before. This gentleman has got he's got the Uber app, but he's using somebody else's account. He's using somebody else's car.
Okay.
And so, in short, he is not an authorized Uber driver.
It was his uncle's identification and car, and he went away in handcuffs while we sat on the side of the road. It was awful. First and only time we'll ever use Uber.
Oh man!
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see you guys getting another Uber. So did they hold you up about as far as getting on the cruise?
Well, we had a little bit of time for the cruise because they were in the process of checking folks in, but we're more than walking distance from where we needed to be for sure. And we said, well, what do we do now? They said, we'll see what we can do about getting someone for you.
Call a lift.
What does that mean? Yeah. Right. So we're standing there, and as we're staying there, after about 15 minutes, the agent, she says, oh, come over here. And so we go over, and there's a van there with the gentleman on the side, and she says, this gentleman's going to take you in. And we're saying, we said, who is this? So he's another Uber driver that he's on his way out, and he's going to take you in. So we said, oh, well, that's nice. So we get in, and he says, what's going on? And we're like, oh, you don't know anything. And so we said, we need to go back to the terminal. Your other driver was not a driver. He says, okay. And takes us back. He's like, okay, the cost will be this. And I was like, okay. So I pay him there. We'd already paid for the other driver on the app, but correct. And so the agent said, when you get on board, give them 0 stars, do not do a tip, ask for a refund. And I was like, okay. And so we do make it in time. That's the good news. And the other good news is the rest of the trip was phenomenal, exactly as we had hoped it would be. But when we got on and I started having a discussion in chat with their customer service, I explained what had happened and said, it's this amount. It's not a crazy amount, but how do I get a refund? And the support responded, said, hey, we appreciate you bringing this to our attention. We're definitely going to have a discussion with the Uber driver about terms of service. But unfortunately, this complaint does not qualify for a refund.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But you know what? We'll give you a coupon for the next Uber ride.
Right.
You say that in jest, don't you, Kim?
Yes.
So they come back, and I said, well, you know, he's not a driver, an official driver. It was not his car. He was using someone else's account. He had me, the fare, drive us into the port, or attempt to drive into the port. We were taken out of the car by the police and threatened because he said, we'll make you miss your flight. Because when he at first approached the car, he was very upset with the whole situation. And that's when I said, oh, okay. I said, and so if this doesn't qualify for a refund, can you please explain to me conditions that would? Right. And after a few minutes, they responded back and said, we can give you a $7 Uber credit.
I knew it. I knew it.
$7.
On top of that, Kim, it was prophetic. And I said, well, as much as I appreciate the offer for credit, I don't anticipate we're going to be taking Uber again. So how do I move forward with a refund? And they just went dark on us. And as I said, you know what, you've encouraged me to give Uber some popular online presence because I'm going to get on a letter writing campaign. I'm going to reach out to whomever I can at the top of Uber. I'm going to reach out to all the local news stations here in South Florida. I'm going to put Uber on the map, and that's all because you've encouraged me to do so with your support. And so they went dark on us.
You know what? It's pretty common. I mean,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's not just with Uber, and it is terrifying because you don't really know who's driving you. But it's like, I don't know how many times that I order groceries, and the person who I see in that app supposedly doing the shopping is not the person who delivers the groceries. There's a whole Facebook marketplace group where you can buy credentials for Postmates and DoorDash and Uber and Lyft.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So you know, wow. And they sometimes they charge like up to $300 a month. And so people who have no intention of driving, or they're not driving that particular day, is that you can go use their credentials. It's really frightening.
That seems less secure than I would have thought.
Well, and I mean, here we are grown adults with police presence next to us. But what if it's a 21-year-old kid who's been out
or younger,
drinking
18,
or younger?
Right.
I mean, how is this not being policed? And for us, it wasn't about the money. We could care less about the money. It was about the fact that there was absolutely no responsibility taken by Uber, and that
no regard for our safety.
Measures.
Yeah, I mean, if you had gotten into an accident, Randy, driving that car.
Right. Absolutely.
Who would have been liable?
Who knows? Right.
So there's just so much there. Thank you guys for coming on. Really, could you imagine that, Andrew?
We got a new rule. Like we say, if you're ever on social media and someone says, let's move this conversation to WhatsApp, you don't do it because it's a scam. If your Uber driver ever says, take the wheel, don't do it. It's a scam.
Take the wheel. I'll get in the back. Definitely not a good thing.
Unreal.
More of your phone calls coming right up. Tim in Seattle, Washington. Welcome, Tim.
Hi, Kim. It's a pleasure.
What's going on?
Here's my situation. I was listening to you on the radio the other day, and you were talking a lot about AI, and I got me thinking if AI could help me with what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So many years ago, when my oldest daughter was young, she liked to compose music on the piano, similar in style to, if you remember, Yanni and Enya.
Sure.
And I had a friend, a work associate, and he had a recording studio in his home. And after my daughter would compose one of her little 2 to 4 minute melodies, I would take her to her studio and we would record them.
Fun.
And that's been some 30 years ago. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is I wanted to see if there was a program I could download on my computer that could take her little melodies, her tunes, her songs, could upload it and make it into like a mini symphony or a musical score.
Oh. But you know what? And then add some lyrics to it, maybe?
Yeah, I could even do lyrics. Yes, exactly.
Vocals.
And I wanted to give it to her for Christmas, maybe.
Oh, you know what? You're such a great dad. You know what, Andrew? You're a good dad. I'm sorry. Okay, Tim's a great dad.
This is no reason to take shots at me.
I'm just saying. I mean, have you ever thought of doing this? No. Okay, just saying.
I'm not listening to the rest of this show.
There's a site called. Well, let me tell you a couple of ways you can do this, Tim.
Okay.
One is called UDIO. UDIO. And it can take an audio file and add an orchestra and some vocals behind it. Okay? So that's where I would start there. Now, you might need to clean up this audio. How do you think what's the best way to clean up the audio?
I don't know. He's so great. Why does he figure out on his own? No, I'm just kidding.
So
just
sensitive.
Kidding, Tim. You could use a program called Audacity.
You think Audacity?
Yeah, because there's tons of built-in filters, even in the free version, that you can take and just run it through the filters to clean it up.
Have you ever tried? It's called. It looks like Moses, but it's not. It's MOISES.
Is that the online audio editor?
Yeah, and it uses AI. And think of it like taking your audio to the dry cleaner. I mean, it'll kind of spoof it up. It's like $10 a month. But once you put all the audio through it. So what I would do is I'd clean up all the audio first. And then once you clean up the audio, that's when you can orchestrate it. You can also use Suno, which is great. You say Suno or Suno?
I say Suno.
I see. Some people say, I said Suno, and I got a whole bunch of notes from people saying that I'm mispronouncing it.
Okay. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not as good as Tim, so probably aren't.
God, get over it. You were a great dad.
It hurt. I'm just telling you right now.
He has 4 girls and 1 boy, and he's always happy every day.
I'm bald though, because I pull out all my hair.
That's it. It was like when they start driving, that's when I see you getting nervous. You're like, they're driving now. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? So start at Udio and then look at that. Odyssey, you could use for sure. Or Moses, like I said, and it's not Moses, it's MOISES. And then also Suno is in another AI. I know I just threw a whole bunch of things out at you, but give them all a shot and then call us back and then we'll work through step 2. We have more of the show coming up. Speaking of AI, just a reminder, be sure that you sign up for my free newsletter, splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. Every Thursday, just comes once a week, splashofai.com. Wow, don't you feel just so tech smart and tech ahead? And think of all the great things that you're going to share at dinner parties, and people are going to look at you and go, Oh my gosh, you are so smart. So do me a quick favor, wherever you get your podcast, leave a great 5-star review. It really does help other people find the show, and it works with the algorithms too. And this is so exciting. I also launched a free newsletter called Splash of AI. Every Thursday, I send it straight to your inbox. I talk about all the great things that AI can do for you right now. And don't worry, there are none of those stories like, here are 22 note-taking AI apps. You're like, oh, please, just tell me the best one. That's why I'm here. I'm Kim Commando. I always have your back. And be sure to sign up for my free AI newsletter right now. SplashOfAI.com.